Peace family, Vie Darling, the Cosmic Queen and your intergalactic interpreter, and I am doing a reading on what the sun has to say. As you can see, I'm out in the sun. I am sitting here near the woods, and I was inspired by my friend to do this kind of a reading. I want to just see what messages the sun, the great central sun, have to communicate to us today. So the first thing that I'm getting is you're free, you're free, you're free. And I got that several times. They really want us to understand that whatever may have been making us feel like we were like in prison or in bondage, like that's not real, and we're not. I'm recording this the day of the eclipse, and let's see. The sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care, whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel, the rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony, after the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance, yes, exactly. And the first bloom, creations realized, for right time, harvest, celebrate. So because these three cards came out in the inverted position, I perceive of that as saying that this is the incoming energy that we're engaging with. We have 5 cards here. 5 is related to Leo. It's related to creation, creativity, and we do get the word create in these 2 cards. Creativity, creations realized. So I think that whispers of Mother Earth, you know, right now is the time that we are like supposed to be resting. We're not supposed to be going out and doing the most. We're supposed to really be letting these downloads come in, because we have the capacity for more and more day by day. I know that right now, if you're watching this when I record it, people are getting ready to go out for Halloween stuff, and honestly would just recommend to not. I would recommend to maybe not do that, because I'm getting a download. I wish you hadn't told me. There's information coming in that people wish that they didn't know, and I did pick that up for specifically today, which is the full moon in Scorpio, or yeah, it's the full moon in Scorpio. It's the eclipse. It's the end of eclipse season, and there is like all of the stuff that was disempowering us is now coming to surface to be realized. And in a way, it's like what was going on in the shadows, in the secret, in the dark, is now coming to surface. So it is being made real. Before, you maybe didn't have tangible proof or evidence of this stuff, but now you do have tangible proof, and you do have hard evidence of this stuff that's been coming to surface. And Scorpio season, Scorpio, Pluto has to do with expulsion. So it's really got to do, and excuse me if you are someone who is squeamish, but like it's really got to do with excrement. It's the detoxification. It has to do with the, I want to say, endocrine system, but what I do know, it is about like expelling waste and detoxifying, because it has to do with toxicity, blood toxicity levels. And so if you're thinking about going out and like partying or getting wasted or whatever, this is not the time to do that. Whether or not you are watching this on the day of the full moon, like, now's not the time to do that whenever you come across this video, because it's only going to end up causing you harm and making you sick. And I do get the sense that you will more easily be taken over by expressions of existence that are more aligned with this desecration, let's say. And so right now you're being encouraged to eat lots of green food, drinks, beverages. So I would say matcha is a good green beverage, green juice, green smoothies, green goddess, what is it called, salads. And yeah, mainly if you, I would say, feel more inclined to eat fresh stuff, but if you are craving something hearty and warm, then I would recommend to you to eat stuff that is like collard greens, spinach, like that kind of stuff. But I would also definitely recommend, don't like have too much oil, don't fry it too much, because your body is detoxing right now, and you're gonna want to do as much as you can to help it along, to keep the process smooth and easy. So yesterday I ate some candy, and I was just like, why did I do that? I'm supposed to be detoxing. My skin is crazy right now because I have a detox breakout, and I just don't know why I did that. But you know, a lot of us are really craving comfort because we feel really uncomfortable. The purging that's been going on has been really powerful and pretty exhausting for most people. And yeah, I just want you to know that if that's you, if you're somebody who's been feeling just overwhelmed with all of that, it's okay. It's totally understandable. Just turn the car around and start doing things that are going to be more beneficial to this detoxification process. So drink a lot of water, dandelion tea is what I'm getting. Drink a lot of dandelion tea. I will say, for blood purification, hibiscus is really good for blood purifications. Devil's root claw is really good for blood purification. So in my apothecary, I make a get out of here. Okay, so be on the lookout for monitoring spirits. Make sure that you are rebuking those energies, using frequencies to repel them. Shut that shit down. I mean, I had to put my Instagram on private recently because of these monitoring spirits doing the devil's work. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about that, is that a lot of the time these people don't even realize what they're doing. They're completely unaware, because this is why I personally don't hang out with people who are of a lower level of consciousness, especially if they are actively maintaining that lower level of consciousness, which is to say that they are very much awake and aware, but they are addicted to their delusions, so much so that they will do anything to keep keep anybody, anything, anyone from disabusing them of their delusions. And these kinds of people are the kind of people who are usually abusing substances, might be addicted to, you know, corn with a P, or maybe they're addicted to, you know, carnal relations. They might be addicted to food. Usually they are in some kind of a toxic codependent dynamic, whether or not they are a narcissist or they are a codependent, because I don't find it beneficial to be like, oh, it's a narcissist empath paradigm. Like, no, actually, you don't really even have to be that empathetic to be caught up in a narcissistic relationship. It just means that you're codependent. It has nothing to do with being more sensitive than anyone else. It just means that you are codependent and you lack self-sovereignty. So I do feel like that is a message that's coming in from the sun, because the sun is about sovereignty. Ultimately, it's about royalty. Leo is a sign of royalty. And what is being royal if not being sovereign? The royal is the sovereign. They are in charge. They are the head of the family. They are the decision maker. You know what I mean? And this is really about taking back the power of choice and power of decision in our lives by being by allowing ourselves to be disabused of our illusions that have kept us in the dark, that and disempowered us. And so this really has so much to do with, yes, the beast system, but the beast system that was able to be as I'm hearing beautiful, but it's like as exploitative as it was in the age of Pisces. And the reason why do I say that? Well, the thing about Pisces is it's really just about illusion, and illusions are not necessarily a bad thing. They're just a thing, right? Illusions are, you know, you can do like magic tricks at a birthday party, and that's just something fun that like people are enjoying, you know what I mean? Or, you know, you can play got your nose with a baby and that's something fun that people are enjoying. Or, you know, you could, well, this is a really messed up thing to do. Say that you have a house and it has a really bad issue with toxic mold, so much so that it's like the walls are like green and black with this toxic mold. A harmful illusion is if you painted over those walls with white paint to show the house that you're selling, and then you sell it at a rate so much higher than it's worth, which if this is the case, you shouldn't sell it at all. You know what? You shouldn't sell it at all. In fact, like, you should invest the money in fixing it before doing anything at all with it. And so, like, if whoever buys it, if someone buys it and they find out, obviously they're going to figure it out. Obviously they're going to find it out at some point. Whoever buys this place figures it out, they are well within their rights to sue you for lying. So that's a harmful illusion. You know what I mean? And I've done a lot of work, as y'all know, I've done a lot of work around like the entertainment industry and media. It's not just entertainment industry, it's media in general. And oh geez, bees have been coming super close to me lately. And apparently if you are a twin flame or you have a divine counterpart, You might be seeing bees a lot because it means that like you are coming into union. It's funny that that would come up with like me doing a reading about what the sun has to communicate with us. So the sun is illuminating all of these illusions, all of these lies, and I don't know, what is today? I'm fairly certain that sidereally we are still in Libra season. Libra has a lot to do with illusions as well, because Libra is light. It is the mirror. It is light reflecting off of water, essentially, because Venus has a lot to do with water. Sorry for the noise in the background. It's the worst when people like that are playing like shit music that like nobody fucking wants to hear. But distractions. So there are a lot of distractions coming up right now by low vibrational people and beings and entities that want to get us off of our beam, get us to lose focus on what we're supposed to be doing and shift focus to what they're doing. You saw that monitoring spirits came up, and then this distraction came up. This distraction came up when I was talking about divine counterparts and the sun illuminating all of these illusions and delusions, and Venus being about like water, because Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So where's my water bottle? Got Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity. Kingdom spouses, y'all. Kingdom spouses, divine counterparts coming into union with one another, because we have had to come into divine sacred union within ourselves to be fully empowered so that we can shine bright like the diamond that we are, and then come into union with our counterparts. So then it's doubly big. It's like not even quadruply, it's like squared, and we are lighting up the darkness. We are lighting up the Kali Yuga, the age of darkness. And of course, they come back when I'm talking about this, right? So you might be feeling a lot of like weird throat stuff, like coughing a lot. If your throat feels very dry, usually that means that you have a lot of phlegm in your throat. You have a lot of mucus in your throat. And cinnamon can help with that. Anything spicy, not like, ooh, capsaicin spice, but like spices. So you might want to have golden milk latte with turmeric, or you might want to have a golden beverage of some sort. So anything with turmeric in it. I actually have some fresh turmeric at home, so I'm gonna make a smoothie using that later. Ginger, lemon, honey, great combination of things. like I said, in my apothecary, I make a heart-opening tea that uses devil's claw root. It is very bitter, devil's claw root, so you don't want to use too much of it because it tastes terrible. But it helps to purify your blood, which is why I use it in the heart-opening tea, because you open your heart and you can just like purify all of the channels by clearing out all of the toxins in the blood. And I think that the Emerald Heart Gateway we're engaging with that November through the 21st of December. That's winter solstice, I think. So I mean, maybe today it's a kind of good time to do some heart opening. If you have felt like every time you've done anything that has felt good for you, that's been clarifying, that's been purifying, that you have experienced like some sort of spiritual attack, anything like that, let me just say, like, it's a reaction from the toxicity, like surfacing to purge. And I've talked about this before. Like, surfacing to purge means that like it's being expelled from the body, it's being expressed through the body. And 21:21 on the clock. The toxicity is on the surface. So when you are sick, when we're sick and we are like, we have to cough up the phlegm to get it out, and that's super gross. That's along the lines of like what we're talking about here. So if you are feeling like hijacked or like whatever, as hard as I know it is, and it is very hard and it really, really sucks, I would just recommend just being like, I am in my power, I am safe, I release this, I am releasing this, I am free of this, this has no effect on me, as it's exiting your field and your aura. And you can call on the energy of the sun to help out with this right now, to help disintegrate whatever toxic bonds, I'm hearing covalent, whatever toxic bonds you might be like enmeshed in. The sun is going to be able to help disintegrate those. And so I'm seeing a lemon. Lemons do really remind me of the sun, and I just saw like a lemon that was like almost the size of my head. It was like they had lemons this big. That is the size of my forehead, which is very big. So there you go. Lemons, any food that reminds us of the sun. So like I said, all of those, cinnamon, yes, capsaicin in, cayenne pepper, black pepper, and I do make a tea that is for like an immunity tea. When I was doing the care packages for Clarity Care Network, and I was doing immunity syrups, the syrup that I was making was made with pineapples, because they have a compound in them that I'm forgetting the name of right now. I think it's theobromine or theobromine. And I would use elderberries and this immunity blend of herbs and sticks of cinnamon and kernels of peppercorn, and all of those things come together. Obviously not elderberries, but you know, a lot of those things have to do with the sun. Orange, brown, yellow, and black have to do with the sun. It's very fortifying stuff, and it's very like Martian energy also. So it just is like slashing through all of those like toxic bonds and things like this, and it disintegrates mucus in the body, and it destroys mucus in the body, specifically with turmeric. Turmeric dries up excess fluids when activated with black pepper. It only works if you activate it with black pepper, so don't bother using it if you're not going to activate it with black pepper. But together, those things can come together and dry up the excess fluid inside of you, which helps with also loosening any kind of like excess mucus in the body. And so that's one thing that wants to be seen right now and be, I guess, validated and affirmed is like the word that I'm getting. So yeah, returning to each other, compassion, humanity. I want to come back to what I was saying about divine counterparts. And this is happening in the sun because the sun is where the Akashic records are stored. They're just constantly, if you understand the process of nuclear fusion that goes on within the sun. This is something that I downloaded when I was studying astronomy, and I was studying for my final exam, and studying would always take me so long. Get the Fool in reverse, because and we got the Four of Wands, and we got the Two of Pentacles, Ace of Wands in reverse, and the Queen of Wands in the direct. But studying would always take me so long because I would have all of these like downloads and like light code expansions and things like that. But so the sun is where the Akashic records are stored, and right now the sun is in its active period, which means that it's like got a lot of activity going on hyperactively, and it is purging itself. This is why you have to understand that the changing of the age takes place over a period of time. It isn't just one and done. It's not just one thing overnight. Like, it has to play itself out, because different things have to happen in different parts of the cosmos in order for what needs to be done to be done. The sun has to go through its active period, which it goes through for 3 years, I believe every 10 years. It's either every 10 years or every 7 years. But either way, the sun has to go through its active period right now at this time, expelling all of this like junk. I want to call it junk DNA, but I don't really like that term. But it's expelling all of this like, all of the, I don't want to say lower vibrational either. It's expelling things from the Akashic records that like need to be destroyed. And so right now there are certain entities, energies that need to be destroyed from the Akashic records, and they are being obliterated. They are being wiped out. The unfortunate thing about this can be that like, if it's forever forgotten, then we are doomed to repeat it. So I think that it's worth like remembering, but ultimately everything is everything, and I just have to say that much. Like, they're being removed from the Akashic records so that they cannot cause any more harm, because they are guilty of transgressing cosmic and karmic laws, and the damage that has been done is just like, they can't ever be allowed to do anything ever again. So that's what's happening, and we are rewriting the codes of the Akash, so that we can move forward free of those timelines and no longer be impacted by them, no longer be controlled by them. And I would just recommend, yeah, just letting the sun just like, its energy just like flow through you. And so I always like imagine in my head, like, if you've ever looked at the surface of the sun, like letting the magma like flow through me, purifying everything within me and destroying any energies that are harmful. Okay. This is destroying the connections that we've had to any toxic energies. It's just destroying these toxic relationships, essentially. Like, they have no more access to us, and we just have to continue to remember that. Even if we think about them, it doesn't even matter, because regardless of if we think about them, they still don't have access to us. To whatever degree that applies to your life, take it as it applies. For some people, it's gonna be grander than for others. But for four wands in reverse, Two of Pentacles, Ace of Wands in reverse, Queen of Wands. Yeah, I basically feel like whatever journey like you had to go on in order to gain this new information and this new knowledge that you have now, like all of the pain, all of the toil, all of the trauma, all of the heartache, all of the heartbreak is being resolved. It's being resolved, and that energy is being cleared from your Akash so that you can just like return to the reality of who you are. And yeah, the second bloom, a second chance, it's never too late, new possibilities. A second chance, it's never too late, new possibilities. I'm really picking up a lot around like queer identity, Sophia, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, destiny, morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. So yeah, I really think that this has to do with like starting a new story where like whatever happened in the past no longer matters. All that matters is that you are sovereign now. You did everything that you needed to do, and you need to just stay in your power and trust yourself and trust your power. If you don't know what to do, just like ask your higher power what to do. Ask your ask the divine, what do I do right now? You know what I mean? Or ask yourself, what would my higher self do? What would the self do, of the version of myself that I want to be, do? And then you do that, because as you do that, you become that version of yourself. And it might feel uncomfortable at first, but it begins to feel like first nature over time. You don't even have to ask yourself that over time, because you intuitively know what to do. It becomes a way of life for you. And so like this is about stepping out of the past ways of being and the past ways of doing into this new paradigm, into this new earth version of yourself, letting go of the old earth version of yourself and letting that die off. And as I was saying, y'all know I've done a lot of work around media and the entertainment industry, and I've spent time in the center of it. And now that I say that, it's like, wow, that's why I went out there, is because I had to experience that energy for myself. And what I am picking up is like, this was only able to happen in the age of Pisces because of the ability to weave a web of deception. And Pisces has a lot to do with lies. Pisces, the Piscean age, it's been full of lies. So a lot of stuff is coming to surface now as we move into the age of Aquarius. A lot of stuff, what's done in the dark always comes to light, is what I'm hearing. So right now it might be like things that you really don't want to face and see coming to the surface, and I really would encourage you to do your best to meet those things with grace. because it's stuff that you need to know in order to really live this empowered life. It's all of this stuff, you know, in this position, the Fool, you started off on that journey that you had to go down, you know, being embedded with the energy of like inheritance, and that is to say ancestral inheritance and, you know, inheritance of the history of the world, even like, you know, something like you weren't born like, hey, racism, you know what I mean, classism, cis heteropatriarchy. These are things that are handed down generationally and through our families, through our epigenetics, and also through indoctrination into whatever culture and society that we live in. We inherit those things. So that's who you became. And Two of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. Two of Pentacles is like, whenever you left your original life and started off on this journey that got you to the point that you're at now. So whenever your moment of awakening happened, if it's happening now, you know, whatever. But whenever this moment of awakening happened, then we come into this Ace of Wands energy where with the Ace of Wands, it's really, for me in this space, about a shift in consciousness, new consciousness coming in as we expand our consciousness and our ability to hold higher vibrational consciousness. And by higher vibrational, I don't mean like, oh, it's better, it's so good, you know what I mean? No, I mean like it has a higher voltage, it has a higher charge. It's more powerful, and it doesn't mean that it's more good or more bad. It doesn't mean that it's like malevolent or benevolent. It just means that it has more power. And so more powers come into you, and you had to go through a very traumatic experience, because especially for my shamans who are watching, we know that the journey of shamanism is marked by trauma. It is started by trauma, and it is marked by trauma because trauma is the initiation of the initiatory experience of the shaman, right? And so now we've gone through that to be able to fully come into our power, and to be able to wield our energy. This isn't the Empress, so it's not all of the queens in one, but Queen of Wands, it is that we are sovereign over our, how we wield our power of manifestation, of creation. You know what I mean? How we express ourselves. Yeah, and so, you know, with Wands energy, it can always be like angry and that sort of thing. Which, I mean, it can be very Martian in that way. I'm getting Eris from this card, big Eris energy, chaos. But, you know, there's a difference between unruly chaos and sacred chaos, which is to say flux, which is the nature of existence. And that's actually the beauty of existence. That's what flow is. You never really know what's gonna happen. None of us ever really know everything that's possible to happen. But, you know, as much as we are able to control our own energy and how we contribute to the flow of life, that's really all that we can control, that's really all that we can do. And showing up for whatever happens in the most graceful, easeful way. And that's what this Queen of Wands is about. This is the end of suffering. This is the end of regret, of sorrow. Whatever happened in the past, that's the past, okay? This is the destruction of those relationships, as I said. Prince of Cups, definitely feeling like those relationships were with people who had it out for you and were just pretending to love and care about you. Seven of Wands in the reverse position. They were trying to block you from being able to do what needed to be done. And honestly, I feel like they that's where the narcissism and the mind games comes in, because they being formed as a weapon against oneself. Six of Wands, you've had to learn how to move with grace through these kinds of things. And then we get the Lovers, because you've come into divine union within yourself and are coming in, you come into divine union with yourself. But the Princess of Cups in reverse, the fountain of life is within us, and it really requires us letting go of all of the things that we have been holding on to because we think that it's going to keep us safe. Holding on to resentments because we think it's going to keep us safe. Hiding, you know, whatever your trauma responses are, your maladaptive coping mechanisms, it's really just time to let go of those things, because they don't keep you safe, they keep you stuck. And if you're stuck in an unsafe situation, like, then you're not ever going to be safe. Like, fawning and people pleasing with sick people isn't keeping you safe. Getting out of the relationship is what's going to get you into safety. Nothing will ever keep you safe in a relationship with somebody who is abusive, ever. So just get that and understand that. That's for somebody. But you know, with a lot of highly sensitive people, this is an unfortunate reality. And for a lot of people who are light workers, you know, have a divine mission, you know, a lot of the karmics that we find ourselves in relation to, are abusers. And, you know, they'll be nice when it gets them somewhere or gets them something that they want, because they know that they're losing their hold on you if that's what it takes. Or they might be somebody who, like, causes a fight to keep you occupied, to keep you sucked into the relationship. Let it go. Just let it just flow out of your life. And I'm gonna wrap up because, as you can see, it's getting dark and it's been 42 minutes. But the Sacred Waters is saying that right now it's time to rest. The war's already been won. You know, it's time to rest and receive the bounty that is coming your way. And what is that bounty? Well, it is the Rose of Venus. It is after the rain. It is whispers of Mother Earth. Alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. The more that you give yourself the space and the room and the time to rest, instead of trying to rush into the next phase and rush into the next scene, the better, because you cannot rush it. And if you don't have these codes, you're not going to be able to get into it anyway, because you have to be in right alignment with it to come into it. So you're only hurting yourself, and you're only making this process longer and more arduous by not allowing yourself to rest. And see that? You hear that? That's disruptive speed. The desire to go faster than you're meant to go it's the distraction. Once again, it's a distraction. It's a way to get you out of the flow and the focus on doing what you're meant to be doing. Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. So there's divine inspiration coming in. And if you're just like overly worried about what I gotta do next, this is your problem, is that you're constantly worrying about those kinds of things, and you really don't need to be worrying about those kinds of things. If you actually have a reliance upon your higher power, then why are you, the small little human, you're a drop in the bucket. You're a drop in the ocean. You know what I mean? Why don't you just let the ocean do its thing and just be a part of it? And then you feel the vastness of your existence. That's how you feel the vastness of your existence. Not by hyper focusing on what am I as a little drop of water in this ocean gonna do? I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get to do this and what I'm gonna do for that and da-da-da-da. No, just open yourself up to being in the flow. Stop stressing yourself out. Stop trying to control things. Stop tiring yourself out. 4, 4, 5, 5 on the clock. Then it was 4, 4, 5, 6. Stop tiring yourself out with all of that, because that too is a distraction. And as the 𝗔𝗕𝗢𝗍 say, you know, distractions, that's the work of the adversary. And I just saw a little orb. Ooh, and we saw that too. Did you see that? That is a distraction, and that's not what you want for yourself. It's the fairy hour. Anyway, after the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. And then we get the bloom, creations realized, right time, harvest, celebrate. So you may not realize that this is happening. These two are happening concurrently. These two are happening concurrently. They're happening there. It's the same thing. They're happening at the same time, because there's stuff that's in between them that's also happening underneath the surface. It's time to rest. It's time to relax. It's time to chill and let everything come into bloom, instead of acting like you still have to, you know, wage this war. You still have to work uphill. You still have to, battle your way through whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, or what have you, whatever you're trying to best. You don't have to do any of that anymore. All that you have to do is surrender to your higher power and allow it to fortify you and make you into whatever it is you are meant to be, and take you to where you're meant to be. That power can do it better than you can. And you'll be so happy when you just allow that to happen for yourself. So 6 of Swords, the Hermit, 9 of Pentacles in reverse. I'm not taking all of these cards, so I don't care. But I will talk to the Hermit. It's telling you, you know, spend time with yourself. Spend time healing your mind, healing your body, recovering from all that you've been through in this time, because, you know, to be honest, it's been a very traumatic period and process, and this has not been easy for anybody. It's been exhausting, it's been challenging, it's been a lot. So what you're gonna want to do is just give in to rest and allow yourself to experience more ease. Okay? All right. I love you all truly and deeply. This deck is not doing it for me, so I don't even know why I keep shuffling it. It's really annoying. But I love you all truly and deeply. I hope that this was helpful. These are the things that the sun wants you to know. Spend time in the sun. You know, integrating these light codes and releasing anything that feels like it's not resonant, it's not helpful. And just like, you know, realize that all of these things just want to have power over you. Oh, look what I can make you do. You know what I mean? So don't self-abandon. Health, sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. You are so taken care of. Your ancestors, angels, and guides are taking care of you. They are protecting you. They are uplifting you. You are loved. So when you lay down in the grass to soak up the sun, just allow yourself to feel the support of the earth beneath you, so you don't have to do this all on your own. And the more that you understand that, the easier all of this will be for you. It's time to let go of the adversarial energy, let go of you know, having to be prickly in order to keep ourselves safe, and also the antagonistic energy. None of that is really necessary because the war's been won. All right, I love y'all truly and deeply, and see you later.